Adam.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How does it feel to be here this week?
Feels great, man. I'm feeling awesome and ready to put on a performance on Saturday.
Do you feel like you're in enemy territory here to a degree, or have you gotten a warm reception so far?
He's Canadian, so I guess it is his country, but I've fought up here a couple of times in my amateur days, so I'm pretty familiar with the Muay Thai community around here, and I'm from the Pacific Northwest. This is the Pacific Northwest, and I've stuck around and continue to train and try to make it from where I started, and he's the one that's moved out of his hometown and into California, so I feel like I'm a little more comfortable than I guess you could say normal.
Yeah, what kind of opportunity do you look at this as, right? Because 1-on-1 in the UFC, pay-per-view, main card spot, not many people in your position get a spot like this, so do you put more pressure on yourself to take advantage of this moment?
It's a great opportunity. I don't know if it comes with any more pressure just because I feel like it's the same story. It's the classic story for me, is brought in to face the hometown guy or the favorite, kind of the gatekeeper, as you could say, and so I don't feel like it's really any different. It's the same storyline. I'm here to mess that up, to steal some hype, and I'm looking forward for the opportunity because, like you said, there's not many people that are in this position. It's the third fight in the UFC, and I'm on the main card, so I couldn't ask for a better spot.
So how do you spoil the party, obviously, without giving away the game plan, but do you see a lot of opportunity with Mike's game here?
We were both finishers, so I see major opportunity for both guys in there. But I just got to go and stick to my style of fight. Work at my pace and my space, and we'll see how it ends up. But I'm more than confident in myself, more than confident against anybody in there.
Adam over here. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Good to see you. Do you have a lot of people coming up for this fight? Because, again, you mentioned you're from the Pacific Northwest up in Portland. Did you have a lot of people coming down?
I got a few coming up, and not a tremendous amount, but, everybody's going to be back home, support me, send me positive vibes. So, we'll see who comes out from the Muay Thai community as well around here.
Mike talked about the placement of you being on the pay-per-view. You're actually the fight behind Oliveira and Dariush. What does that mean to you to be so highly placed on the card? I think, obviously they're pushing Mike a bit, but I think it's also the style matchup as well. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's huge. This is a dream come true. This is I want to be on main cards. I want to be potentially getting in main events. I don't want to be stuck around the bottom, and I couldn't ask for a better situation, to be honest.
Have you taken a look at the betting odds? I think Mike's like a almost 2 to 3 to 1 favorite there.
I mean, Vegas, you're going to learn. You're going to learn on Saturday.
And is it tough fighting a guy that's, there's no real trash talk or anything? Mike's been, he's a pretty polite guy, sort of living up to that Canadian moniker. Does that make it tougher to go into a fight or anything, or do you prefer trash talk? What are sort of your thoughts on Mike as just a person in promoting this fight?
I don't know. There may not be any trash talk from him, but I don't know. I have this chip on my shoulder, and I can just pick out these little things. And I don't know, maybe it's a little bit toxic, but I can pick out little things and just really kind of hang on to them and use them as tackle and fuel, as you can put it, I guess.
And just last one from me. Your teammate Brent Primus picked up a big win a few weeks ago. Just how much are you feeding off that? Because a lot of people are counting him out in his fight.
Oh, it's huge. Helped him get ready for that, as much as I could, and it was great to see him go in there and pull out that W, especially when everybody had him counted out, especially when the betting lines were against him as well. So I wanted to go in there and just continue that momentum, that he went in there with and left with. So.
Adam, right here. You had mentioned that you can kind of pick off these little things that kind of stick with you. Has Mike said anything specific that kind of has been gnawing at you? Maybe it wasn't intentionally trash talking, but you picked up on it?
I mean, he's kind of the king of the compliment sandwich, I think. He starts you out with a little positivity, he hits you in the middle, and then he ends it with positivity. So it's something that my boss back in the day kind of was really good at. So I just kind of took a little bit of that and just. I remember what this feels like, and I'm just going to hang on to that and continue. I think he said something like, he does. He's really well rounded. He does a lot of good things, but I'm just better than him in every direction, in every aspect of the game. And than he finished off with. But he's definitely one of the, probably the toughest guy I fought. So it's a good compliment sandwich there.
And I know a lot of people online and stuff when this matchup was announced, they're like, "Oh, fight of the night possible." So, from your perspective, you obviously want a clean performance. You want to go in there and dominate. So, when people say like, "Oh, fight of the night," in their minds, this is going to be a close fight. Is that an insult to fighters when they say, "Oh, possible fight of the night"? Because that means you're going to be back and forth, and I'm sure you just want a clean performance in there.
For me, no. Honestly, this does have fight of the night potential. I think it is going to be back and forth. He's a finisher in the first round. I'm a finisher in my own right. I also know what it's like to be out of that first round and second round. So, I think it is going to be back and forth. We're going to have to get through where he's most dangerous, and then we're going to get to where, I have a little bit of the upper hand, and we're going to see what his gas tank's like in the third. So, I'm thrilled when fans say it's fight of the night potential. I want them to see Adam Fugitt on the card and immediately know fight of the night potential. I need to see that fight. I don't want them to, see my name on there and go, oh, this guy's going to bring the best trash talk, because I'm not good at that. So them recognizing me for my fight potential is exactly what I want.
Adam, to your left. Mike was calling out veterans before this. He was asking for a Robbie Lawler. You've had a couple of young guns, let's say now with Kinoshita and Mike. I mean, are those the type of fights that you like, or would you be looking for, a veteran, a bigger name?
I mean, those are the type of fights that I got to take at this point. Like I said, I'm kind of the gatekeeper. I'm the betting underdog, and so those are fights I feel like I got to take right now. And if anything, it just kind of, if I go in there and I do my job, it pushes me along a lot faster. So we'll get to those vets. Unfortunately, Robbie's retiring after this next one, so I won't mention his name.
The finishes that you mentioned, you've got 8 straight. I believe he has 8 straight. For your part, where does that mindset come from?
It's a little bit of the chip on the shoulder and the need to prove myself. And then just that, I don't know, that kill or be killed mentality, leaving it to the judges' hands, as we saw, last weekend. It can't, sometimes it won't go in your favor, and that can kill you more than if you just put yourself out there to put yourself in that position to get the finish.
Thanks very much.
Hey, John Hernandez here, CBC News right over here. Hey, I'm just wondering, obviously it's going to be a packed house at Rogers Arena, full of Canadian fans, pro-Canada crowd. What's your message to those Canadian fans who will probably be rooting against you? I don't really have a message, but anywhere I go, it kind of seems about the same. I go in getting booed, and I leave getting the applause and some respect, and that's all I can ask for. Is at the end of the day, they recognize my game and they recognize my talent, and they respect me for it. Thanks. All for me.
Where do you think the talent level is at here in the Pacific Northwest? We always talk about GSP here in Canada. We've got a lot of other Canadian fighters here in the Pacific Northwest. Do we get our due for the talent level like yourself and others who are still trying to find their way? We do not, and that's a big part of why I wanted to blaze the quote-unquote Oregon Trail, the Pacific Northwest Trail. Is there's a ton of great fighters out here that just don't get the push. I feel like that's unfortunate. We have to move away to some of these bigger gyms where they're just kind of meat grinders. You go in these bigger gyms with all these guys trying to make it, and you hear of these guys getting hurt. Where we don't really have that. I don't know. We don't have that path directly to these promotions, the UFC, the bigger ones. So that's why it was very important for me. Why I've stayed put and stayed loyal to my team and just my community. Do you think because you don't have that push that it makes you train harder, it makes you fight that much harder?
I mean, I feel like the path is much more testing. I think we're a lot more proven. We got to go through the thick of it. My first fight, I mentioned that I essentially had to kind of give up on the dream, and essentially I had to let it go, because if I woke up, wanting that call every morning, by the time I went to bed, I was going to be disappointed and going to bed with a negative mindset. So you kind of have to let it go and just believe in what you're doing, what you're waking up and going and training for. And, that's the best advice I can give anybody is, and that And honestly, that's why I think we have a lot of talent out there, is because we have to go through the meat grinder of just waking up and training and getting our fights in and hope that somebody sees us. Thank you.
Adam, right here.
Yeah.
To your right. Adam, I heard that your dad shared the news that you're competing on the pay-per-view card. How cool is it to share that experience with your dad now that you're right here and just a couple of days away from performing?
It was a special moment. I think I was in between training sessions, and he sent me the text. He's like, "Did you know this?" And when I came up here and fought in Vancouver as an amateur Muay Thai fighter, he was the guy that traveled with me, and he was the only guy in the crowd that really knew me. So, we've come full circle, man. We're back up here. It's time to show the world, what I can do.
Perfect. That's all for me.
Adam, over here to your right. Yeah. You had mentioned that you sort of had to shelve that dream and put that idea aside of waiting on that call. As such, what did it mean to go out and get that victory in February and have that, not only get the call against Morales, but get a full camp, go out, have the performance you're capable of?
I mean, it was really special for me, especially with just all the preparation went in, all the work that my team and I put in. A lot of in my camps, I can always be the pessimistic one, and it's never enough. We got to do better. And so to have them, backing me, reinforcing me, telling me, hey man, we got a great game plan. This is how this is going to, play out, and to go in there with all the preparation that we had, and it kind of just play out the way that we were envisioning was just tremendous. So the win was, that much more special, not only because it was my first UFC win, but because of the process as well.
Awesome, thanks.
Up to your left. You did a lot of talking about your sort of amateur and Muay Thai career. In your profile, you mentioned how your left kick is probably your most dangerous weapon, and you also listed Yod-Saint Clay Fairtex as a hero of yours. Is that an influence on your style from the Muay Thai great?
100%. When I was in Muay Thai, that was the man. He just watching him operate. They called him the boxing machine, or the boxing calculator, or something like that, and just to watch him shut down guys' style with a left kick and a left cross and a right hand was amazing.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a great moment.